Don't forget to tighten your clamp. Welcome back to Operation Overhaul, everybody, and today we're going to be doing the valve cover gasket on the Mini Cooper. Like I said in my previous video, which will have a link right there, we're going to be doing the valve cover gasket on this right here, and I did the oil filter housing already. So without any delays, we're going to go ahead and get to it. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the air box lid on this. To take this connector off right here, it's got a real tiny squeeze tab right here on the bottom. It can be a little bit of a pain to get off. You just need to kind of wiggle them a little bit to get them to fully come off. But I'm going to remove the lid on this, and this does use torque spits on here, so we'll find out what size it is. No, that's too big. It is a T25. And then there'll be a flathead screwdriver you need to use to do the hose clamp. Or you can use, I think it's a 10 millimeters, but I got a screwdriver right here, so we'll go ahead and do that. There's normally a fourth one down here, but this one didn't have it in there. And then we're going to disconnect all these little sensors. On these two sensors right here, they're cam sensors. You just lift up on the front of it and it comes off. Then on this one right here, you may have to get a screwdriver underneath, but it's got two squeeze tabs that you push. These right here can be a little aggravating. Well, what I'll do is I'll take that one off in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and take this cover off. It's too small. Sure we got it all. There we go. It's got these little push tabs on here. And once you get one of them off, they all normally pop right out. That one's loose. These are just normal BMW style connectors. You just lift them and it pushes the whole harness out like that. Put your finger underneath and pull them out. And that's what those ignition coils look like. I like to keep them in the same cylinder that they come out of as well. Now we can start taking all the bolts off. That looks like an 8 millimeter. Just remember the ground cable goes on the middle. And try not to lose the bolt or the nut. It's like 13 bolts that hold this on. Let me get a longer extension. I'm going to try to use a trim tool, kind of like this, or a push clip tool to get underneath there since it has a wider surface. There we go. Now with it off, you can see what I'm talking about. You got to squeeze both ends to pry the tabs on the side. Alright, now we're going to make sure all the bolts are out. Then we're going to gently pry on a corner. And there's your valve cover. So in the middle, down in there, as you can see where my thumb is, there's two bolts, one on each side of right in the middle between the first and second, and then the third and the fourth. There's two bolts that go in between there. Yeah, I can see where it was leaking. Right in here, and then back in here. So I'm gonna get some shop towels, clean all this off. While we're in here, we're gonna check the timing chains, make sure there's nothing, no excessive wear, no rattles, make sure nothing's broke. If you've never looked inside of a BMW style engine, these are the way they set up a lot of their rockers. They use these spring-loaded actuators that help pull the rocker arms back. Right here in the corner, they do have a little bit of silicone, and I will clean that up real quick right after I get all this oil off. And make sure you wipe off this area too, because the seals seal right here to keep oil from getting into your spark plug cavities. Alright, well, let me grab the gasket and I'll show you that part number. This is the gasket I have. I got it from FCP Euro. They're not a sponsor or anything, but that's just where I get most of my parts from, either there or ECS Tuning. This is an L-ring part, and part number's right there. And then here's the code for the barcode. I forgot what they call it, but that's it right there. I'm going to pull the old one off of the valve cover, check everything on that, make sure nothing's bad on it, and then we'll finish cleaning up this right here. Now I'll get a little bit of silicone and put it in the corners. But I'll be right back. So I'm going to use some of this Honda Bond right here. I like using it. Honda Bond actually is a really good product. It seals extremely well. It is not cheap, I will say that much, but it does work extremely well. A little bit will go a long way. It tends to be a lot thicker than your normal. Gasket sealer. Alright, kind of hesitated on that. Drop my cap. I'll just put it right in the corner. But you can get this stuff right here at any Honda dealership. Alright, I got the new gasket on, and my kit did come with all of the O-rings for each spark plug tube and for the 2 center bolts. And BMW gaskets have these little notches on them that kind of keep tension on everything, and then it has these little indicators right here that tell you exactly where it goes, so it can only go one way. I know probably people will know this little trick, but just like some of your shop towel or something, stick the bolt in there and I'll hold it for you just so you can start it. And it's deep down in a cavity. Pull it back out and do it again. Torque sequence on these BMW valve covers is extremely important. You start from the center and just work your way out in a circle. And you need to make sure you get the torque spec right, because these only torque down to 10 Newton meters, which is between 7.5 and 8 foot-pounds. So I have my torque wrench right here, and we'll start torquing. All right. And I'm just going to go through and double check that everything is torqued one more time. All right. Now all those are torqued. We can put our coils back on. And they just push down into the thing. Just going to use some brake cleaner. I'll put it on a rag and I'm just going to wipe it down. I lost my mind there for a minute. And all you gotta do is just push that in and it connects right back. Good. Put that back up in there. Line them up. Push that in. Sure, that's good. Just double check, make sure everything is connected and everything is tight. Make sure all your clips are back on. And that is pretty much it. I'm going to crank it up real quick just to make sure nothing's leaking. And we'll see what happens. Let me clear my tools out first, make sure nothing's in the way. Don't forget to tighten your clamp. Everything seems good other than me forgetting to do the clamp, but like I said, that's why I always double check everything just in case you miss something, because anybody can miss anything. But everything looks like it's doing good. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to let it run a little bit longer after I turn the video off, just to be sure. But everything looks good from here. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And until next time, y'all have a great day. And any comments, concerns, leave them down below.